Okay, so we get to our shooting modes by hitting this little guy over here in the corner. It's a touch. It actually works better than my iPhone as far as responding to the input and picking the right thing. Or trying to type on my iPod or iPhone keyboard drives me insane. But you've got the intelligent adjustment, the program auto, the sweep panorama, the movie mode. You go in here. You go here and you can actually choose a different setting. So since we're in the MP4, we get the 1080, the 720, and the VGA quality, which is the 640 by 320, 480 resolution, 640 by 480. Anti-motion blur, handheld twilight, and what this will do, and this probably isn't the best example, and I'll tell you what, maybe we can switch this modeling light off and see what happens here. Wow, so that's really dark now. I don't know if it's gonna make it happen, but we'll see what it does here. So it took 4 or 5 shots there, and now it's taking those shots and it's combining them together for an image that's pretty amazing that it got this out of what I gave it to work with. We'll try to zoom in here, and that's a little dull, but if you've at least got some light, which we don't have much here, it'll stitch those together, and it does a pretty good job. And I'll put a couple samples in the review that shows a little bit better representation where there's actually some light out there. And of course, I'm not exactly holding this camera still with one hand here. Let's back out to the camera mode and look at some of these other things. The backlight correction HDR, this is really the best setting for this, but with the backlight correction HDR, it will actually go in and capture 2 images, blends those together, and tries to pull from an overexposed and an underexposed shot, and pull the highlights and the shadows from both, so that you know, you've got a higher dynamic range than you would otherwise have. Scene selection, you've got a lot of these others with high ISO sensitivity. You can bump up the sensitivity even more so than the standard range that you've got in the camera. And you can see some of these other scene modes that are in here. Pretty impressive set of shooting modes, but a really awesome touchscreen interface.